Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. It's a new day, another opportunity to either make money in this market or to just learn from this market, Lord. But first, y'all, let me give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. But if you could, please like, share, subscribe, y'all. We learn and we grow together. With that being said, let's get started. So we are looking at AMD, and as you can see, we have bounced off of a support level of 158.95. Resistance is now here at 161.02. We closed at 161.27, right? So where are the trouble places for AMD as of now? We will need to get back above 161.34, 161.61. And here the next level, 162.32, breaking that 162.53. There's a few layers of support resistance there from the 162.32 up to the 162.72 area. Now, breaking that, we could very well have trouble around 163.13. And if we break that 163.13 area, 163.69 is within reach. Now, breaking that again, there's a few layers at that, 163.69, 164.01, and 164.32. Those are possible areas of resistance for AMD today, not financial advice. Now, say we break under this level here, 160.39, we could very well come back to 160.24. Not far away, 160.07, 159.87. Again, there's a few layers of support there. Breaking that brings us back to the 159.52, 159.18, and breaking that 158.95 could be a support area. Y'all see the ATR trailing stop is kind of close to an area that we have marked here. I like to see that, right? So 158.50 or 158.59, that could be a strong area of support for AMD today. However, breaking that 158.23, 157.79, and breaking that 157.60, and here at 157.31, breaking that brings us back to the 157, and under that 156.75. So if you are trading AMD today, I said often, y'all, trade carefully, mark your levels. Once it goes against your why or your reason for getting in the trade, get out. So we're now looking at Meta. We closed at 748.91. As you can see, we've been trading sideways or in the gathering spot, as I like to say, right? So where are the trouble places? It seems like our support was here at 747.57. It is now at that 748.25. Resistance possibly 750.21. Breaking that 751.10. Should we break that 751.89? 752.57. Breaking that 753.41. Should we break that 754.23? 754.86. 756.01. And should we break that for Meta today? 757.50. Breaking that brings us close to that 200 EMA around the 758.05, and the 200 as of now is at that 758.50. So those are possible areas of resistance for Meta today. Let's look to the downside. If by chance we break under this level here of 747.57, which was that was our support, that has been our support from yesterday, right, in pre-market. So breaking that level, we could very well come back to the 746.30, which is where we were here on yesterday. Breaking that, possibly 745.55, and should we break that 744.72, y'all see the ATR trailing stop is at that 745.23. So in my opinion, there could be some strong support here for Meta. Again, not financial advice. However, breaking the 744.72, the next level I have marked is 743.15, but we could very well get stopped out anywhere in this area here. So trade carefully if Meta is something that you trade, right? So under the 743.15 area, we could possibly come back to around 742.29, and below that 740.07. Keep in mind, there's something that anything can stop us out here in this area. So if Meta is something that you trade today, I say it often, y'all, trade carefully. Mark your levels. Once it goes against your reason for getting in, get out, right? So we are now looking at NVDA. We closed at 177.69, and as you can see, we've bounced off of a support area here, 175.88, only to have some trouble, let's say around this area, 177.89, or we could possibly say the 177.99 area. So breaking, to the upside, continuing to the upside, let's say that right here, we will need to break back above the 177.99, 178.25, 178.58, 178.86, 179.16, 179.35, 179.51. Those are possible areas of resistance for NVIDIA as of now. However, breaking that 179.74, again here at 179.93 and 180.12, those are possible areas of resistance. Now, back to the downside, say we break under, let's say this area here, 177.59. Y'all see that 200 EMA is right at a level that we have marked here at 177.43. I just love to see that. Breaking that brings us back to 177.13, and breaking that brings us back to 176.89. Should we break that, we could possibly have trouble again at 176.60, and breaking that, something stopped us somewhere. I'm going to mark this level here. Why? Because something stopped us in this area. And I'm just going to the body of the candles here because something stopped us there, right? So it's kind of like this, almost at this area, and this area. So that 176.38 could be a support area for us coming back to the downside. However, breaking that 176.16, and should we break that 175.87, the ATR trailing stop is forming around that 175.68, and if we should break that, the next level is 175.47. So if NVIDIA is something that you trade today, I said often, y'all trade carefully. Once it goes against your why or your reason for getting in the trade, get out. We do have a few inside day candles. Again, I like to give those only because it kind of builds our watch list and it gives us a possible target, meaning if we break this level, this is the possible target, right? So DBX is first as an inside day candle above the 31.33. We have an upside target today, 31.39, under $30.80. Downside target today, $30.74. So DBX, or drop box, is an inside day candle. Let's see how much it normally moves per day. That's 71 cents. That is the ATR, which is our average true range of how much the stock normally moves. Again, y'all, not financial advice, and that could be in either direction. Let's say that, right? So Disney is next on the as an inside day candle. I want to say on the list as an inside day candle, breaking above the 114.08, 114.16 is the target to the downside. Under 112.65, Disney today can reach that possibly 112.19. So that's the downside target. And let's go see how much Disney normally moves. $2.03 per day. Again, that is the ATR, or the average true range for Disney. That could be in either direction. GLD is on the list today as an inside day candle above 345.92, upside target 346.87. Now to the downside, under 342.37, we have a downside target of 342.05. GLD normally moves about $4.25 per day. Keep in mind, y'all, that could be in either direction. So if GLD, for some reason I want to keep saying DBX, if GLD is something that you trade, I say it often, y'all, trade carefully, mark your levels. Once it goes against your why or your reason for getting in the trade, get out. So we've already looked at NVIDIA. Let's go to the SPY and see where we are today. Let's see, we closed at 658.05, and as you can see, y'all, we've been trading in this little gathering spot, as I like to say, right? Support as of now is at the 658.35. However, we were at that 657.59, so we're up just a little, right? So as of now, where are the trouble places? Possibly 659.11. Should we break that? 659.63, and breaking that 660.27. There's a few layers there at that 660.27 up to the 660.51. However, breaking that, y'all see the 200 EMA is right there at a level that's really close to a level that we have marked at the 660.97. Breaking that, we could possibly have trouble. 661.33, and breaking that for the SPY today. 661.68, breaking that 662.03 and 662.40. Should we break that 662.68, those are possible areas of resistance for the SPY today. Now to the downside, let's say we break under the 658.35, we could possibly find support again, 658.35, 658.06, and breaking that brings us back to the 657.59. Breaking that brings us back to around this level here. Let's say around the 657 even. So breaking the 657, y'all see the ATR trailing stop it now. It's really close to a level that we have marked at 656.65 or 656.71. That could be a strong area of support for the SPY today. Again, not financial advice. However, breaking that brings us back to around the 655.97 and breaking that, I'm going to say 655.57. And should we break that for the SPY, we could very well come back to 654.81, 654.55, and breaking that brings us back to around 653.94. Keep in mind, we could very well get stopped out again here. The low of this candle was 654.41. That could be a support area for us again. So if the SPY is something that you trade today, I said often, y'all trade carefully. Why? Because in this market, anything is possible. So breaking under this area of 653.94, I have 653.68, 653.36. Under that 652.98, there's a few layers of support here for the SPY and another layer. So breaking that 652.66 and 652.17. Y'all keep in mind, I look at support and resistance on a smaller scale. Why? Because when I'm in the trade, I kind of want to know where my possible trouble places are. So if you trade the SPY today, those are possible areas of support and resistance. Again, not financial advice. So we are now looking at Tesla, and I say it often, y'all, Tesla does what Tesla does, right? So we closed at 423.39. As you can see, we have bounced off of a support area 416.56 after making this low of 415.03, and it looks like we're bouncing back to the upside. Let me see. Let's see where those trouble places are as of now. We're going to say support for Tesla is around the 425.39. We can use this area for 427.26 as a resistance area, right? So breaking that, possibly 428.01, breaking that 428.60. It's something about this 428.60 that I remember from yesterday. So breaking under that was our support. Right now, it's our resistance. In my opinion, it was strong support. Here, it is a strong resistance area. Again, in my opinion, 428.60. Breaking that, we see the 200 EMA is around the 429.96 and breaking that level 429.99. Should we break that level for Tesla, 432.22, and breaking that level 434.45. Should we break that for Tesla today, 436.19, and again here at 438.31, should we break that 442.13, breaking that 442.13 area for Tesla, possibly 444.35, and should we break the 444.35, y'all see we can come back to this 448.87 and 450.05. Those are possible areas of resistance. Say for instance today Tesla breaks under this level of 425.11 or lose that area of support, we could very well come back to 423.25, 422.22, something. I just remember that number for Tesla as I remember that 428.60. That 422.22 in my opinion could be strong support. Breaking that level brings us back to this area 420.44. Something stopped us in this area. I always say what stopped us there, right? So price stopped in this area. I need to remove that. Price stopped in this area, that area for a reason, right? So 420.39, breaking that 419.71, breaking that level 417.54, and that's right where our ATR trailing stop is forming now for Tesla, 417.31. Should we break that, 416.56 is where price was pre-market, right? So breaking that, y'all see it brings us back to this 415.03 area. I had the 414.92 marked. So anything is possible with Tesla. I need to say that again. Let's make sure. No, I had the 414.99. It stopped at 415.03. That's very close, right? So breaking that today for Tesla, 413.75, and under that level 412. Should we break that 410.01 is possible. Breaking the 410.01, I have 4 410.01, breaking that is 407.89. Keep in mind, anything can stop us in between that with Tesla. And I say it often, y'all, with Tesla, anything is possible. So again, if Tesla is something that you trade, I say trade carefully. Once it goes against your reason for getting in the trade, get out, mark your levels, make sure you have a plan before going into the trade, because why, anything is possible, especially with Tesla. I just wanted to go back and see under that 410.01 area, that 407.89, and breaking that 407.89, 406.57, under that 406.57, 404.80 is within, it's possible for Tesla, right? And breaking that 404.80, possibly 402.50. Those are possible areas of support and resistance for Tesla. Again, not financial advice, y'all. Anything is possible, right? So this is what I see when I look at the market. I say it often, y'all. There's so many different ways to trade the market. And again, what's challenging is trying to figure out the strategy that works best for you, and for to have the discipline to execute your plan, making sure that you have a plan before going into the trade. So I hope that everyone have a very profitable and a very, very productive day today. Again, if you could, please like, share, subscribe, y'all. We learn and we grow together. With that being said, be blessed as well as a blessing unto others. Until next time.